TRT World's news producer Efnan Bayraktar joins me now in the studio. Hi Efnan. So we're going to look at the press, how they're viewing this on the dispute between the Turkey and Netherlands. Let's start.
Well, since the incidents took place, we can see that the Turkish media has really come together and spoken along the same lines, saying that what the Netherlands has done is racism, and it's against the president of Turkey and really what they go by for, what the EU goes by for. So we can start off with our first newspaper, which is a Republican newspaper. It's actually a very popular newspaper in Turkey. It's called the Hürriyet, and they actually wrote the headline calling the actions of the officials barbaric. And all the papers that we're going to be viewing right now have used the same pictures, which is of a protester being bitten by a dog that was under the control of a police officer during the protests. And this is actually one of the actions that took place during the protests that Erdogan said that they would want to take legal action against.
So the second newspaper is actually Milliyet, the central one.
Yes, Milliyet is the central newspaper, and they have actually quoted one of Erdogan's statements saying that the Netherlands will pay a price for what they have done.
As he has called for legal action during this time.
Exactly. Yeah. And our next paper is a very conservative paper. It's called the Yeni Şafak. They have actually used the same quote that the central newspaper Milliyet used, saying that the Netherlands will pay a price for this, using the same pictures as we have seen in the past two papers that we just reviewed.
And it actually shows a consensus when it comes to this issue, especially we usually see this consensus when it comes to mourning of terror in this country. All these newspapers sharing the same idea, sharing the same view. So this is the second time on this issue that we have been seeing this, isn't it?
Exactly. The first one was during the July 15 attempted coup, where everyone came together and worked towards anything that was coming against Turkey, which is their country. And our fourth paper is the Sözcü, which is a very secular newspaper, a Kemalist newspaper, actually.
Which is the opposing one and usually critical of the government.
Yes, it's an anti-government paper, and they've actually written that, again, the actions done towards the protesters were very barbaric, and they've used the same pictures as we can see here.
With the conservative one, with the central one, and with the Republican paper as well.
Exactly, and actually this protester is in very critical condition in the hospital, which they obviously want to take legal action towards. And our final newspaper is the Daily Sabah, which is a pro-government paper. They've actually written their headline in Flemish, giving the message to the Netherlands, saying that the Netherlands surrenders to fascism, which has been said by many Turkish officials in Turkey since the events have taken place.
Okay, on one side we see a European consensus to prevent the Turkish ministers from arriving to the EU, but on the other hand we see a consensus of the people of Turkey and of the press, of different opposing sides, and the central side, the conservative side, coming together when it comes to this dispute between Turkey and Netherlands. Thank you, Efnan Bayraktar, for being with us. Still ahead.